What's up, gamers? We're out here. We're going to be doing a tier list today. We're going to be rating the National Football League logos. And according to my nice little graph set here, our tier list that we have set up, the tiers begin with, of course, GOAT tier. That is the number 1, 2, 3, whatever, top 5, etc., etc. It's the best of the best. You guys already know. If it's a GOAT tier level logo, then it's a GOAT tier level logo. Next, we have top shelf. You know, it's the good. It's not exactly GOAT tier, but it's pretty damn good. It's up there. You know what I'm saying? Third on the list, we have A1. A1 is like A1 steak sauce. It's a solid flavor that you can add to make your steak a little bit better, but it's not necessarily the best flavor in the world or necessarily give you the best taste, but it's pretty good. It's solid. The next tier is, of course, every anime lover's favorite word, mid. So if it's mid, it's meh. That's what mid means to me. You already know. Let's moving on. The next level is dog. You already know that there's another word after that is dog. But we like to stay a little bit PG out here when we can. So that's the next level. And at the bottom, we have trash tier. Because of course, trash belongs at the bottom. All right, let's get into it. To give a little bit of background in my sports fandom, I watched a lot of football as a kid growing up. I definitely would say I was a football fan first before I became a basketball fan, but I think now NBA has definitely been more of my priority. But I've been kind of getting a little bit back into NFL. Still not my most favorite thing to watch, but I'll watch a wrap up of how the games went. You know what I mean? Like someone will talk about it and I'll watch that. That's good enough for me. We're gonna be hopping right into this. Okay, a caveat that we'll definitely have to put out here is that we will move logos around at the end. Where we place them is not going to be the final spot necessarily because we will go through after everything. So just because I give something a rating at the beginning does not mean that is its final rating. All right. Now let's get into it. The New Orleans Saints. If you watched my NBA logo video, which you should check out if you haven't watched it already, it contains the New Orleans Pelicans, which of course shares the same city. In the New Orleans Pelicans logo, I mentioned that they have the Saints logo. They have this shape, but I don't really know what it is, but I just know it's very representative of the New Orleans area, and I've always been a fan of their logo. I think the gold and black is really nice. It's a great color combo. I think it's a top shelf logo. I think it's solid. Definitely up there. All right, let's go on to the next one. The Miami Dolphins. I think the Dolphins logo is all right. I really was never a big fan of the Dolphins. I don't think I had too much of a connection to the Dolphins necessarily. So I don't know. I'm looking at it. It's an orange sun with the dolphin going through it. It's kind of sleek. I will throw it in mid for now. I mentioned in my NBA tier list that I'm not a fan of orange. I won't deny that my biases will carry through, but I mean, that's what tier lists are for, right? It's my opinion and my biases shown visually out here. So it is what it is. Comment down below what you think about the color orange and let me know. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens logo is really cool, actually. I think it's cooler than the Dolphins logo just because, one, it has a little bit more of a definition of the animal. Like, yes, there's like the dolphin. You can kind of tell that's the dolphin there. But the Ravens logo is cool. I like the bee and kind of like the font with the bee and how it merges with the feathers that go behind its head. I think it's good. I'll put it in A1 tier. I think it's a solid logo. The Cincinnati Bengals. I think this one's a pretty good one. Now, hold up. I know I just said I'm an orange hater. I understand that. But Bengals are tigers. It's based off a Bengal tiger. And tigers are orange. You can't have a tiger not be orange. I know, okay, there's white tigers out there and there's other colored tigers, I know. But when you think of a tiger, it's usually orange. Think about my favorite cartoon character, Hobbs, from Calvin and Hobbes. He's an orange tiger. I like it. It's simple. It's a nice bee. It has the tiger stripes on it. You know what it is. It's pretty cool. Honestly, I like it more than Baltimore. I think the bee's cooler than the Baltimore bee. We'll push it up one. The Denver Broncos. I'm gonna be honest. I think the Denver Broncos logo kind of looks a little funny to me. It's like the horse's neck is just like really like, you know, is really stretched out. Like he's really trying. And he's really pushing out. Like, I understand, like, it could be like a horse that's like running or bucking. Cool. But I'll put it behind the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins looks a little sleeker. I think it looks cooler. The New York Giants, this is a hot ass logo. This is bad. Okay, maybe not bad. Maybe that's a little too harsh. I'll put it in dog. It's boring. I don't think there's really much to it. I like how the effect of the Y kind of has an underlining aspect to the New York, but in my opinion, is just, it doesn't scream Giants to me. Also, I think Giants as a mascot is just overused. I think there's a Giants in like every single sports league, right? So I think it's kind of dog. It's whatever. The Minnesota Vikings. That's a top shelf logo right there. I like the Vikings logo a lot. Now, as I look at it and kind of reflect on my previous ratings of other colors, yes, those are Laker colors. And I'm sorry, Laker fans, that I kind of shat on your logo. But I like the Minnesota Vikings logo a lot. The reasoning because, one, it's very recognizable. You could tell it's a Viking. Two, the horns are just super sick and clean. And I know this shouldn't have a bias with the logo, but when they have those horns on their purple helmets, it looks so cool. It's so cool looking that I can't discount it. You know what I mean? I really like the Vikings logo. I think it's sick. Moving on. The LA Rams. This logo, let me tell you, is way better than it was when it was in St. Louis. I think the rebrand that they have done is nice. I think they've really improved the logo to a whole nother level. So I think it is a solid logo. I'm going to put it at the top of A1 for now. I don't know if it's necessarily top shelf yet, but it's pretty good. I like it. It's sleek. And they also do the same horn effect on the helmets that the Vikings do. So, you know, maybe I'll rate it up a little bit higher, but we'll come back to that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First of all, Tom Brady. I am not a Tom Brady fan, but the Buccaneers logo is really sick. I'm gonna put it at the top of top shelf for now, but it could move up to GOAT status, to be honest. I think the crossing of the swords that creates the Jolly Roger that they put on a flag is really nice. I am a fan of pirates. I don't know if that's nerdy or not, but the Buccaneer and the pirate theme that they got going on is really nice. I like how the sword is the flag pole to kind of support it, but it's also the same sword that they have going underneath the skull on the flag. I think it's clean. I think it's sleek. It looks really good. Shout out to the Buccaneers. That's a good logo. Detroit Lions. It's aight. You can tell it's a lion. I'll give it that much. I like the lion a little bit more than I like the Bronco, but I think the dolphin looks a little bit sleeker. So I'm gonna put it there. I don't really have too many thoughts about it. It's cool. It's blue. I'm not the biggest blue fan out there either. But yeah, moving on. My favorite team, the team that I support, the Chicago Bears, with their tragic logo. This is where I resign myself as a very sad Chicago Bears fan. I love how I say that I don't like orange and I don't like blue. Yet, my favorite football team that I supported growing up was orange and blue. Ironic, isn't it? But I'm gonna be real, the Chicago logo is really boring. Sucks. It's just a C. Honestly, it looks like the same logo of the Cincinnati Reds from the MLB. It's just a C. There's no relation to a bear. Sorry, Chi-Town. I love the Bears. Even though they suck, I love the Bears. But man, the logo's hot ass. Straight up. The San Francisco 49ers. I don't want to criticize it as hard as I did like the New York Giants, because honestly, I think the New York Giants font is better than the SF font, but I like the way the SF kind of is overlaid one another, and I also like red and gold a little bit better than I like red and blue, but I also don't really like the 49ers logo that much. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it that much. I'm gonna put it behind New York. I might be going back on the New York one. I think I might have been a little too hard on the Giants. I'll be open to saying that. Philadelphia Eagles. This is a great logo. I love the Philadelphia Eagles logo. Usually I don't like Philly sports logos. If I ever do another tier list, which I probably will be doing more tier lists of sports and whatnot, I'm usually not a fan of Philly stuff. Philly usually associates their colors with red, white, and blue because it's, you know, one of the original 13 colonies. That's where they signed the Declaration of Independence. All that good stuff, right? Usually not a fan of red, white, and blue. But the Eagles logo, it's sleek, it's nice. You can see that it's a bald eagle. It's the only one that faces to the left out of all these logos. I'm looking at them again. Dude, because you're the standout, you go to GOAT status. I'm sorry. Eagles fans, rejoice. Fly Eagles fly, baby. Your logo's up there in the GOAT status. The Las Vegas Raiders. When I was growing up, they were the Oakland Raiders. I don't like the Raiders logo that much. I like their colors. I think black and white, of course, is a classic color combo that you can't really go wrong with. But I don't know. It's just the homie with the eye patch and the two swords. I'm not a fan. I'm gonna put it behind the Lions. It's not the worst logo out there. I like the shield that they use. I like their colors. The two swords I'm okay with. To be honest, I don't really know where the name comes from, but it's not the worst logo out there. So I'll put it in mid for now. The Green Bay Packers. Sorry, Packers fans. You're joining the rivals of the Bears and the Packers. Dude, their logos just suck, man. I'm sorry. It's a C, it's a G. At least San Francisco and New York kind of shook it up a little bit, try to make it a little bit cooler. LA and the Bengals, even more so, that they try to make it a little bit better and add new effects to it. But straight up, it's a pretty bad logo too. I'm gonna throw it down there. Honestly, I like the green a little bit better than I like Chicago's orange. I'm sorry, Chi-Town again. We're down here in the dumps. We're dumpstered. The Washington Sentinels. Let me tell you something. As a kid, I did not know that the Washington... Wait, Sentinels? Are they the Commanders? They might be the Commanders. They're the Commanders! Who are the Sentinels then? I'm such an idiot! The Washington Sentinels is from the movie The Replacements. Oh my god. If you've ever watched The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, it is a great movie. I've watched that movie at least 10 to 15 times. Like growing up, that was one of the movies I watched all the time. I remember it would appear on TV and my sister and I would pretty much watch it every time that it was on TV. I think my sister was a big Keanu Reeves fan. So yeah, that's Washington Sentinels. The Washington Commanders is the logo that we're judging right now. Okay, back to my fun fact about the Washington Commanders. When they were the Redskins, I actually did not know that Washington meant Washington, D.C. Washington. So I was always under the impression that the Commanders played up in Washington State with the Seahawks. And I was always so confused. I'm like, they're so close to each other. They're both in the state of Washington. Like, why aren't they rivals, right? Like the Seahawks and the Commanders should be rivals. They're both in Washington. But yeah, I learned very, very, very late, like a few years ago, that it's Washington, D.C., Washington. So that's a fun little history fact for you. I'll put it at the bottom of mid. I like how the W is kind of two V's together and like the slashes that go amongst it. I think it's pretty slick. Actually, I like it better than the Raiders logo. And it's more unique to me than the G and the C. And it stands out a little bit better than the New Yorks and whatnot. So we'll put it up there. The Arizona Cardinals. Very similar to their fellow bird, the Eagles. I will admit, it's a pretty clean logo. It's sleek. You can tell it's a cardinal. But it's not as cool as Fly Eagles Fly. I'm going to put it in A1. I think it's cooler than the Ravens. Yeah, I think it's cooler than the Ravens. But does it pass the others? I don't think so. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I never really understood the Steelers logo. To be honest, as a kid, I didn't understand the basis of the name. Now I do. You know, Pittsburgh was a big hub for steel manufacturing back in the Industrial Revolution days. So that's where they get the name the Steelers from. I actually really like the stars of the Steelers logo. It's pretty clean. It's sleek. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty solid. And it's quite recognizable. I think if you just see those 3 stars, even without Steelers in it, you kind of know that it's Steelers, right? So I think it's pretty good. I will put it above the Cardinals. I like it more than I like the Cardinals. I think it's designed better. Moving on, the Buffalo Bills. That was another thing that kind of confused me as a kid with football franchises, is that there's like 3 of them in New York. You know, you got the Giants, you got the Jets, you got the Bills. Crazy that New York has so many teams. What I find even funnier is that the 2 New York teams actually play in New Jersey, which is even funnier. Anyways, going back to the Buffalo Bills, I think it's a pretty cool logo. I know I was hating on red, white, and blue, but it's pretty unique. I like the stripe from the horn. Kind of indicates movement and like going forward a little bit. And it's lunging, so that effect gets amplified by the red stripe. Pretty good. I'll put it behind the Bengals. I still like the B a lot. The Atlanta Falcons. Red, black, and white. My favorite color combination. I really like the Atlanta Falcons logo. And now that I'm really looking at this list, there's so many freaking birds as mascots. Can we say that birds aren't real, man? Because birds aren't real. Anyways, I love the Falcons logo. I think it's sleek. I think it's very clean. I'm going to put this, it's a top shelf logo. I'm going to put it above the Vikings and I'm going to put it above the Saints. It's a top tier logo. How can you say no? Moving on, the Seattle Seahawks. They got a badass logo, man. I remember when I was a kid and I visited Vancouver. I'm a big Canada fan. I got a native kind of carving thing that was very similar to the Seattle Seahawks logo. And it just reminds me of that good time in Vancouver as a kid. And I think it's a dope logo. It's top shelf. Can't say much about it. I know it's blue. but it's just so clean. It's sleek. I like the little tips that come out of it, like at the top right here and the beak, to kind of give it a little bit of out of bounds in that normal rounding square box that things are contained in. I think it's nice. I'm also a big fan of the lime green eye. I think it's striking and it stands out and is the only lime green amongst all these logos. And I can say that confidently this time. All right, the New England Patriots. I think their logo is hot dog. I do not like the Patriots logo. Again, it's red, white, and blue. It's America's colors. I get it that it's supposed to be like a kind of like the tri-corner hat that they wore back in the day, but I'm not a big patriotic kind of guy. Goes along with the reasoning with like the 76ers and whatnot. It's just too kind of American for me. And if I look at kind of the swoop angle, and I look at all the logos that have the swoop angles, you know, for example, Broncos got the swoop angle. The Bills got the swoop angle. The Ravens got the swoop angle. The Cardinals have the swoop angle. All of them kind of swoop that way. These two have the swoop angle, right? They're all swooping into this one direction. They're all swooping this way. But it doesn't swoop as hard as the other swoop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. This is dog shit one. The Browns, this is dog shit. Is worst logo in the game. It's not even brown. It's an orange helmet. Like, I'm sorry, Cleveland. I don't mean to be a Cleveland hater at all. I really don't try to be. But your logo is straight up a helmet. Your helmets are just orange. You don't have anything. There's nothing there. Like, brother. So, yeah, I think the Browns logo is the worst one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm putting it at the bottom. By far for now. Orange freaking helmet, man. Shake my damn head. Moving on. Houston Texans follows in the same theme as the New England Patriots. I think they have the exact same colors, if not very close. I like the star as the eye. I will put it in front of the Raiders, but does it pass the others in front of it? I don't really think so. Again, I'm not a big red, white, and blue person. You also only see kind of half the bull's face with the slash in it. So I don't know. Again, we'll go through this again. Kansas City Chiefs. God, I'm not a Chiefs lover. I respect Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a great player. I think he's probably going to contest to be the GOAT. Tom Brady. Their logo is pretty damn nice, you know? The Chiefs representing the Native American chiefs that were from that area. Another fun fact about Kansas City, I didn't know that this was Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. So growing up, I always thought it was Kansas City, Kansas. And I was a little bit confused. And I was like, were there a lot of Native American tribes that settled in Kansas or Kansas at the time? I don't really know. But Missouri makes a lot more sense because I definitely know that they were there. So yeah, there's your fun fact. I think the logo is nice. It's clean. It's a nice little arrowhead. The K over the C looks good. Red and white are just a clean combo. I think it could be the bottom of top shelf. It's not bad. Moving on. The Cowboys. America's team. The Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I think their logo's ass too, man. It's better than the other ass ones, but it's just a star, dude. Like, how many other star logos out there? There's the hockey team, right? I think they're the Dallas Stars, right? This is the Dallas Cowboys. So, I mean, they're literally sharing the same freaking logo. Like, at least the Dallas Stars logo is better than the Dallas Cowboy logo. The Dallas Stars logo at least has the D in it and has a nice green and has nice depth to it, like the shading of it. Yeah, hot ass. Sorry, Cowboys fans, hot ass. The ex-San Diego team, the Traders, the Los Angeles Chargers. I still like this team's logo. It's a lightning bolt, man. Like, how can you not like that? It's nice. It's sleek. It looks good on things. Bolt up. It's an iconic logo. It's at least minimum top shelf. I gotta put it up there. The New York Jets, looking like a green football with a football on it. I like the font that they use, though, on the New York Jets logo. I think the font is nice, and I like the green. Everything else about it's kind of whatever. I mean, I guess it's the shape of a football, so it's a little bit more creative than the other logo shapes. I will put it top of mid. I understand why they're the green football. And I guess because it kind of has precedent in the past. It's cool. Again, I like the green. Do I think it's better than the others? Probably not. Top of mid. Carolina Panthers. Another one of those swooping animals. Like the swoop. Got that neck into them. I think the Panther logo is pretty cool. I like it better than the birds. Yeah, I like it better than the birds. I don't really know what else much to say to it. I think it's cool. It's sleek. I like the color that they use with the black. It's a very striking logo. It stands out. Nice. It has a better swoop to the angle than like the horse, because again, the horse looks like it's like, but the Panther looks a little bit more natural. The Tennessee Titans. I like the T. I don't know how I really feel about the flames. I don't know how I really feel about the stars. I don't like the logo that much. I like it less than SF. I'm gonna put it in dog tier. It's better than the Patriots, but not by much. Not by much. The Indianapolis Colts logo. Now this is a good logo. Simple, sleek. You know what it is. Represents the horses. It's got nice colors. I know it's blue, but it's a good logo. I'm gonna put it up there top shelf. The Jacksonville Jaguars, and the last one on our list. This is kind of like the head, and I know the birds kind of also have like the heads. I'll put it in mid. It's not bad. It's cool. I think the Jaguar is cool. I'll put it bottom of A1. I'll put it higher than the bit. Yeah, but I like the Cardinals logo a little bit better. I think these are a little bit more sleeker. This one kind of is just the head of the Jaguar, like I said, whereas the other ones kind of have a little bit more. They have like the neck here. This one's like full body. This one's full body, full body. And yeah, you could say the same argument that the birds have the head. But I think, and this has nothing to do against the animal or anything, but just the Cardinal is so much sleeker with simpler colors, whereas the Jaguar kind of has a lot more going on. So I kind of like the more simpler logos that are nice. I think that's pretty solid. Let's go through and make our final adjustments, shall we? I'm going to move the Buccaneers up to GOAT tier. I don't think there's really an argument against it that I have, personally speaking. I think it matches up with the Eagles pretty cleanly. The Saints are a little too high. I'm going to drop it lower. I'm going to put the Seahawks up here too. There's just something about the Seahawks logo that is just, again, like the form factor of it is just so nice. And I think Atlanta is the top of top shelf. I think that's a good landing spot for it. I think it's one of the bigger logos that we have on here. It takes the most space, but I like it a lot, personally speaking. So I think it's top of top shelf. Kansas City can go there. I think the Saints can go above the Colts. I'm gonna put the Bengals up here. I really like the B with the stripes. I think the tiger stripes are just so nice. I'll move Baltimore down. I'll move New York up. I like the green football. The green's nice to me. As one of two that use green, pretty good. But I like the other ones a little bit better. I think I was too harsh on New York. I like New York better than I like the Washington logo, to be honest. And I'll move the Broncos logo down. SF is top of dog. And the bottom of trash. The Browns for sure are down there. Okay. I think that'll be it for me. I think I like these adjustments. Actually, we'll put the lines top of mid. I like these. Okay, so we have the GOAT tier status where we have the Eagles, which is the only logo that is facing towards the left, whereas everybody's pointing to the right. I really like how unique it is. It stands out. It's a nice, clean bird. It's just a nice logo, good colors, solid. Can't really argue with it. The next one, Buccaneers. I love the Jolly Roger. I love how the three swords that are used there are all the same swords. I like how the red is kind of a torn up flag, and I like how the sword is used as the flagpole. Solid. And the Seattle Seahawks. I think the form factor of it's really nice. I love the lime green that they use in the eye. It's very reminiscent of the native culture that resides in that like Seattle/Northwest area that I talked about. So I just think it's really nice, clean, sleek. Yeah, I'll move the LA Rams up. Sorry, Colts. You're gonna go down. Yeah. All right, cool. Thumbs up, everybody. Bingo, bango, bongo.